All right, so this is about the slide lock, whatever you call it, the slide not locking back after you fire the last round in the magazine. This is not a review of the gun. I can do that later if you want. This is not a review of the light. I can do that later if you want. This is the FN 509 Tactical 9mm in FDE, or flat dark earth. So a common problem that I found out online after I bought the gun was that there is an issue with the slide not locking back after you fired the last round. And I'm going to tell you how to solve that, or at least in most cases. And it is not a problem with the gun. So I recently got into IDPA competitive shooting, and I do it with this gun right here. And I have not had a problem. Well, I've recently changed my grip and tried to do a better grip. And what I've found out, well, I shot today in a 6-stage IDPA round, and at the end of a magazine, fired the last round, the slide was forward like this, except it was a little bit back, like maybe right there. And I just jammed on it, and I was able to continue on. So it was not slid back in the back position at slide lock. So I've got an empty mag. The gun is empty. It's clear. This gun is clear. So at the end of a magazine, this is the condition of your handgun. The slide should be in the lock position. Now, I found in previous forums from years back that FN has changed the follower. This follower is what follows the bullets up. And it used to not activate the slide release mechanism somehow, and that was the previous problem. But now they've changed it, and that's not the problem anymore. I even have other FN mags made to the same manufacturer specifications, even has their logo, and they are exact duplicates of the original. This is the original to the gun. So it's not a problem with aftermarket mags, and you'll find that online, that it's a problem. Oh, your slide doesn't lock to the back because you're using aftermarket mags. That is not true anymore. Your slide isn't locking back because your follower isn't shaped correctly. That's not true anymore. Here's the problem. So on most of my stages, I had that problem, so I had to go to tack reloads, which worked most of the time, but sometimes that worked against me if you know anything about IDPA. So I did tactical reloads instead of depleting my magazines, and I was able to make it through. So here's the problem. I changed my grip. And so coming out of the holster, I'm going to put this in to have everything like it is. You want to go way up high. This, I can do a lesson on IDPA later. This is just about the slide lock not working. You want to go as high up on the gun as possible, thumb forward, but you flag out. This is all done in a fraction of a second when you draw. You flag out so that your other hand can come in and around and thumb forward. I know it's not a perfect grip, but you get the idea. And so thumbs forward. So you probably see the problem right now on the gun. And if you know anything about competitive shooting, you want as tight a grip as possible without the gun shaking. You want to squeeze your palms together like you're cracking a walnut, and you've got a really tight grip on the gun. And so I've got better about that, and I've changed it. Well, what's happening right here on my thumb, I didn't know it, but I was squeezing and holding the slide lock. And that messes up the mechanics inside. So when it cycles that last round, I just prevented the slide from locking back because I wasn't letting it do its job. I found that in a forum on Reddit. And so to prove the theory, I went outside. I thought I had bad ammo, but that wasn't the case. I took 4 different brands of ammo out to my range in the back, and I tested theory, because if you shoot one-handed, your thumb naturally falls into the manufacturer groove right there, and I'm nowhere near that slide lock. So I loaded one round at a time to simulate last round in the mag. So I loaded one round, put it in, racked it, shot with one hand, slide lock back perfect. Didn't slide lock back all day long at my IDPA matches, but when I put the same manufacturer round in at home, one last and shot one-handed, nowhere near this, it slide locked back. So I did it again 9 more times in a row with the same ammo I used today at the match. All 10 times it slide locked back perfectly. So then I tried it with the other ammo, slide locked back perfectly, proving the theory. So then I said, well, I'll put the same ammo in that I shot the match with, and I'll go back to my double-handed grip just like I shot 2 hours prior in the match. And I was pressing on this slide lock release. I shot the one round I had in there, and it did not slide lock back. It stayed just in this condition with no round. And so it proved the theory. I was ready to call FN on Monday and ship this gun back and see if they could modify it, fix it, whatever. But it was not a gun problem. And FN gets a bad rap. I found a lot of forums and videos giving FN a bad rap about the slide lock back, which for some reason I couldn't find before I purchased the gun. But when you specifically look for FN slide lock problems, you'll find them. And in my experience with this 509 Tactical 9mm, this is a 2020 model. I bought it in July of 2020. I've had it, 2 months, 1 month. I've fired 600 rounds through it, and it's working great. So it is not a problem with the gun. In my experience, what I've found, it was me pressing on the slide lock. So change your grip. Don't press on the slide lock. Thanks.